Welcome to another episode of Vet in a Van. So this episode we continue on from the Kings Canyon walk, where we go around the Menindee Loop and we stop off at the Ellery Gorge, or Ellery Big Hole I think it is, where we do the Dolomite walk, and then we make our way towards Alice Rings, where this happens. Which is kind of annoying, but we're on our way to East Arnhem Land, so better happen now closer to civilization than out in the middle of nowhere, but we'll get to that later. Enjoy. The Menindee Loop is about a 200 kilometre section of unsealed section of the Red Centre Way, and it is a stunning drive up through the West MacDonnell Ranges. However, I would absolutely, if you are planning on doing it, I would absolutely recommend checking on the road conditions. Now, you do need to get a permit. Just Google it. There's like a heap of different places you can get a permit. I think it's like $5 to travel on the road, but it's very worth checking when the grader went through, because if it hasn't gone through for a while, like it hadn't for us, then it's about 200 kilometres of unrelenting corrugations, and I think it's been keeping mechanics in Alice Springs in business for many decades, because as soon as anything goes wrong with your vehicle, which I think I alluded to in the introduction, they'll be like, "Oh, you've been on the Menindee Loop, have you?" And you'll be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, well, that's what keeps a lot of those guys cracking along from people that break stuff on the loop due to the corrugations, which were pretty severe." But anyway, we did the loop, and we stopped in at Ellery Creek in the evening for some rest and relaxation after all the corrugations.
Hope you don't turn on the lasers, 'cause they are most stony. Please don't turn on.
You have arrived.
11. Right. 11 would be good.
Pressing buttons.
It's even remarkable. Just who that person was that said that.
Oh, there's one. They're not two, are they?
Yep.
So, what better way to end a hot day than our very own private secluded gorge, eh? Ellery Creek Big Hole Campground is, well, it's exactly what it says. It's a big hole from Ellery Creek, which cuts its way through the West MacDonnell Ranges. But it is, it's a great place for a swim. And if you do go there, I absolutely recommend that you swim out to the other side of the water hole, because there's this cool little sandy area at the back and heaps of fish, and it's just very beautiful. The waterhole itself is probably a couple of minutes walk from the campgrounds, and I think there's 11 or so campsites. If you are going there, do check wiki camps, because the sites are varying sizes. We would only fit with our setup probably in maybe 2 of the 11 sites. Many of them are quite small, and pretty much geared out for much smaller setups, if not rooftopers. So do jump on wiki camps and have a look, but it is well worth a stop in. What do you reckon, Eli? Big walk around the gorge. How cool is it? Look at this. And then we'll swim all the way back. And how many people are around?
No.
None. Got the place to ourselves.
Nobody's
Eh?
stupid enough to swim.
Well, are you cold or hot? It's been a 40-degree day. Look at that. Just have a look at that. That is just picturesque. An absolute oasis out here in the middle of nowhere. West MacDonnell Ranges, eh? More beauty in the Australian outback. And freezing children.
Teeth are chattering.
Your teeth chattering? Back in the water? Alright, back in the water. Let's go. Pizza. Gorge pizza. You've got pizza there. And gorge there.
Gorge pizza! Yeah!
Does that make it gorgeous pizza?
Gorgeous pizza. How good is this, Tans?
Not bad.
Got the place to ourselves. And Tanya has poured us a boutique gin that we got for our Christmas, wasn't it?
Raspberry gin.
Raspberry gin
With bitter lemon.
with bitter lemons. So we're going to kick back. The sun has set.
And go to
We've had
bed.
a swim. No, we're going to have a fire later.
Go to bed.
Tanya's going to bed.
Up at early this morning.
Soft.
Done a 6K
Soft.
hike.
This is what happens when you're pushing
No.
50.
Wow. You're closer than I am.
I'm not.
That's how I check you.
And where you lay your head, may it feel like home. In the highs and in the lows, moving fast or moving slow. May your roads be filled with light, and may peace be by your side.
How's your day been, Charlie?
Good.
Another morning
Now, where are your guys' hats?
and another hike.
Mine's in the car.
Ponies out.
I think we got everything. We got everything?
Hats.
Hats. So we are going to do just a short, I think it's about a 3K hike around this epic little place. So this is the last of our mornings because we've had late nights and early mornings. You tracking well?
Yeah.
And then we're going to jump in the car and drive for about 5 hours. Because the boys get their iPads. Anyway, let's do it. Don't know if I've said it before, but once you get up north, you get these things that upside down rivers. That's all that you can really say. And there are many, many upside down rivers. And you'll see heaps of them up here and they look like a dry creek bed. But the vast majority of these rivers are exactly that. They're upside down. So you'll see all around me are river gums. And so this creek supposedly only flows once a year. Yet there is more than enough water here to feed these big river gums that are only growing along this little area here. And the reason is because the water actually does flow underground. And so there's many of these rivers you see, these dry creek beds as they were, they actually do flow all year round. But they just flow underground, which keeps our whole ecosystem of life fed and watered, which is kind of cool if you have a look.
In the highs and in the lows, moving fast or moving slow.
Dolomite Walk. This is an easy 3-kilometre walk which meanders over the foothills and back along the riverbed. It will take you about 1 hour. Dolomite is a fine-grained sedimentary rock composed of magnesium and calcium carbonate. It was deposited between 800 and 750 million years ago when much of Central Australia was covered by a shallow sea. The hills west of here are home to some rare and threatened species. Walk to the next sign to discover what they are.
So this one up here, and I don't know if you can see it, but she's a female. She's big. And interestingly enough, down here, and you probably can't see it, but there's all these little guys. They're all one of two things. They're either mate or breakfast. So reflect on that.
The job of the male is to sneak up on the female and mate with her before she realises he's there and turns around and eats him.
Kind of like how we met.
Kinda. You're lucky.
With that, the Dolomite Walk, tick, 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 tick. It's it is spectacular, but I think because we did Kings Canyon yesterday, we're probably a little bit biased on how good our walks are. But still, West MacDonnell Ranges is a stunning, stunning place. I think we'll have to. We've only got a night here because we're obviously heading north because we're on a time frame to get up to East Arnhem Land again. But I think future travels we'll have to come through here when it's not 40 degrees during the day and spend just a week or so slowly coming through and checking out all these gorges and staying at all these camps along the way because they're pretty epic. Anyway, let's hit the road. So,
Everything is awesome!
oh man, so our poor car has decided to, I don't know, I think it's an axle. I think we've done an axle, which seems odd, but you know, we could have done an axle like out in the middle of nowhere and we didn't. We're like parked in the middle of Alice Springs, so that's good. But anyway, she makes a horrible noise when I try and drive it, so we're going to tow it or get it towed to a mechanic and try and get into discovery, I guess. Trials and tribulations, eh? So we will not be heading north today as planned.
This is as far north as it gets.
Far north as we're getting for the moment. Oh, cars, I just want them to work. Yeah, anyway.
These things happen.
These things happen.
At least we weren't doing 100 k's an hour.
Absolutely right.
And we weren't in the middle of nowhere.
We're parked on the side of the road.
In the middle of town. Best place to get a tow truck.
Best place, absolutely. So, anyway. Let's get a tow truck. It happens. So here we are again, good old Alice Springs. I'm back at the Discovery. Tell you what, this is our new home, this place. Yeah, so it looks like I've done the clutch on the car. Massive thanks, tons of a shout out to see if anyone could help tow the van back here to Discovery, because we're with Club 4x4, we don't have RAQ, and Club 4x4, their roadside assist doesn't cover taking the van to a caravan park, it just covers taking it to the mechanic. But anyway, big thanks to all those people that shout out to help, because that was hugely supportive, and it actually just shows, you know, the travel community is amazing. There's just a bunch of legends, all of you. Anyway, but that being said, we are back at Discovery in Alice Springs. Gonna have to get a new clutch for the car. Glad it went here. Could have been a million times worse, given, you know, we've been pretty remote of late. So yeah, Alice Springs for probably the next week. Fun times, love it. All right, bit of an update. So yeah, the car obviously broke down. Well, it didn't really break down. We sheared the studs off the rear left-hand wheel. So that was just corrugations. It was that coming around the loop, the hour or so of corrugations was a bit too much for the rear end. And so we sheared a couple of bolts and that stuffed the brakes and whatnot. So managed to get it fixed in Alice in like 24 hours. So man, it was amazing. Alice Mechanical Services are just like top notch. Ben's a legend. So big thanks to Ben, who got us back on the road within 24 hours. But that did put us a little bit behind. So the last couple of days we've just been doing some heavy driving, and we are back here at Daly Waters. We love this place. And so we're just going to be here for the next 24 hours, just going to chill out, have a swim, have a good feed tonight at the pub, because it's just been a bit crazy over the last 3 or 4 days with the car breakdown and trying to reorganise things, and obviously have to be in Darwin for the weekend because I've got to fly back to Melbourne. So anyway, that aside, yeah, we're just going to chill out today, spend some time at the pool. The humidity's back, so first time got out of the car and just went, oh yeah, that's right, we're back up north now. So humidity's back, and yeah, so we'll slowly, well, not so slowly, we've got like, I think it's tonight at Daly Waters, tomorrow Adelaide River, and then Darwin. So anyway, the adventure continues.